I genuinely think I'm invincible and that no real harm comes to me, especially when it has to do with other living beings. And this is something that's available to anyone, not just me, but more on that later. So what do I mean by invincible? Tell me why when I'm going through national border security and the security officer lady in front of me is interrogating everybody and their mother, regardless of their gender and background, and interrogating them really, really sternly and suspiciously interrogating everybody. But when it comes to my turn, she asks a few questions and then breaks out into a big smile. And no, I was not trying to be charming or anything. I just answered her questions briefly, word for word. And I think many people can agree that at border security, things can be a little bit tense sometimes, if not frictional or scary. And personally, I feel uncomfortable seeing people being interrogated that sternly. Tell me why I can walk by myself on the streets, whether in the forest or in the city, no matter how quiet or how chaotic or how sketchy it is, and literally having scenes of, let's say, a man in front of me, near me, causing havoc, unfortunately, probably having a mental breakdown and being quite aggressive, harassing everybody around them and just being quite wild, but then they're heading straight in my direction, and once they get to me, they pass by me as if I'm not even there. And that happens all the time. No matter how big or small a group of strangers are, being in the dark on the path that I am walking alone, no one ever disturbs me. The closest I've ever got to disturbance was someone passing by me and randomly offering me something, being like, hey, do you want candy? And not even in a mocking way or in a suspicious way, just plain offering me candy. Also, to be fair, it was nearing Halloween at that time, to which I would just say, oh no, I'm okay, thank you. So not even a disturbance, just an offering. Tell me why I can be walking a really huge dark park at night with a friend with an aggressive territorial dog suddenly running up to us, barking, ready to pounce on us, but then once it's right in front of us, literally 2 feet away, it stops and immediately starts coming to us and being curious and just sniffing our hands until it's done and walks away. I once had a friend telling me that she feels so safe for some reason walking with me at night when she normally wouldn't feel that way walking alone. Tell me why I once had authority coming to me wanting to confront me for something that they were perceiving that I had done wrong, and the moment I opened the door, they would be just oh, and they'll mumble something and they will turn around and walk away and leave. Tell me why I can go up to authority, and I mean law authority, not just your boss, and tell them straight up that, hey, I can't do this right now. This being some sort of rule or law or regulation that would normally be the norm to follow without asking. And the person I'm talking to would respond with, oh, let me help you. You can do this or you can do that. These are the alternatives. And to clarify, I'm not saying that I can't do this or this rule or regulation out of being a rebel or purposely wanting to be a burden for other people. It's just an honest expression of where I'm at in my capacity, and to extend it a little, also according to what feels aligned for me, honestly. What are people gonna do? Arrest me or penalize me for being authentic and expressing myself honestly and what I can and cannot do? Also, the law can seem like it dictates what's right or wrong, but to me, what's right or wrong depends on whether you're causing harm and non-violence or not. And that includes, to me, being dishonest to myself in any way that I live my life and pushing through something even if it doesn't feel aligned, because that dishonesty would be a sort of self-abandoning, which to me is harm to myself. So why or how does this happen? Is it because I'm special? No. Is it because I'm manipulating anybody? No. I have just learned to tweak and maintain my energy field and my energetic state so that anything that is not love, including anything that is not in alignment with my authentic self, stays out of my field naturally and automatically. And if you're wondering if maintaining those kinds of energy states has to do with nervous system maintenance or subconscious rewiring and healing and sometimes deleting of old narratives and limiting beliefs that no longer serve you, you are not wrong. This is coming from an energy healer, by the way. So I prioritize the solidness of my own energy field, my own authenticity, and that shapes how my reality around me is experienced by me. And that doesn't require any manipulation of people outside of you. You can't tweak with people's free will, in case that's not obvious enough. There are a lot of mass collective narratives that have been passed down for generations all over the world, leaking into our current modern society, that gives rise to this fear that we have over all our shoulds and what is right to do, or rather what we should do, what we have to do in order to not experience a loss, in order to not be in the red, and in order to not suffer. But the truth for me has been that simple energy work and maintenance, simple subconscious rewiring, simple healing of narratives and old limiting beliefs can free you from all those restrictions and all the fear that comes with those restrictions. Also, all the fearful illusions of perceiving certain hierarchies to have power over certain other people and things like that. Think about it. If suddenly your life had no shoulds and no sense of urgency at all ever, what would you want to do? What would you feel called to do instead of what do you think you need to do and or should do? And instead of what do you feel obliged to do? Of course, this is provided that your intentions are good-hearted and not harm-causing. And by no means is this a call to be less responsible, but I just value responsibility that is in alignment with one's truest self and one's authentic self. I'm not saying either to put yourself purposely into dangerous situations. I was just telling you stories of what I happened to experience while I was in those sketchy seeming situations. If you're curious how to reclaim your sovereignty, your freedom, your personal power, and to be basically untouchable because well-intentioned and good-hearted people deserve to be safe and protected in all ways, not just physically, but emotionally. This is exactly what my upcoming online self-paced course, Break Free from the Matrix, guides you through. It takes you through simple, straightforward steps of a transformation that doesn't require you to change who you are, but more so to just strip away the layers of who you are not. And then the core of you is where that inherent power and sovereignty already lies. It lies within everybody. It just gets clouded by the layers of conditionings from the society, from our matrix, from childhood, and from historical and generational events and stories and narratives. Read the caption for how to join the waitlist and get early bird bonuses.